My name is Cesar Flores. I'm from Orange County, California, owner of Roof Pro. Been in business 4.5 years, struggling just like everyone else. Coming here, I didn't know what to expect first. I know it was a retreat. I know it was going to be fun. I know we were going to talk business because we're businessmen.
Hopefully, it was a way to meet people and try to see how it could positively affect my life. In the life of the people I'm in business with.
When I got down here, I was telling my wife that before I left, I said, I got extreme butterflies, and I'm not that one that really gets nervous about much. But it was just the anticipation, probably of meeting Connor and Hunter.
We see the change. We see when a group comes in and half the group are better than half the group. It's kind of like tippy-toeing around, like, who are these mofos? What are they gonna try to sell us? Like, you don't know who we are. You're from somewhere across the country and you don't know what we're about. And we see that progression throughout the weekend and as you leave, and we see the trust built and the buy-in to the community and the realization from you guys that, hey, this team here actually does care and we do want to change the industry, and we're doing it with guys like you that are here in the seats, not making excuses, not out partying, but focused on becoming better and not afraid to share with other people because you have an abundance mindset. There's way too many people in our industry that are terrified to talk to other roofers because they don't have an abundance mindset.
Right when I walked in the door, from Connor to Diego to Hunter and the entire staff, those guys were just top-notch professionals, and you could tell that those guys cared about each and every one of the CEOs and business owners that came into that meeting.
I love networking. I love to see what other people are doing because, I'm an open mind. And as a leader, I need to be able to grow myself in order to help grow other people as well.
I've been to a lot of masterminds, but I've never been to a mastermind where you're actually living together. It's normally a conference. You're there for 3 days. You're in a hotel. You can kind of escape when you want to escape. This is a place where it kind of got me out of my comfort zone,
All right, guys, day 2 technically. Let's start off on a good note. So mentally priming you, this is the day about focusing on self-worth.
I got a major league wake-up call because every morning at this retreat, we got in a circle and we went out and did these exercises. I didn't even know what a burpee was. So these military-minded guys are doing these burpees and push-ups, and it really woke me up.
So today, we're gonna make sure that everyone gets something out of this and that this is super meaningful to your life moving forward, and that today starts a new chapter no matter where you are. It allows you to hit the reset button, get your mind refreshed, get more clarity, and be able to move from that into a new place when you go back home.
Man, they really knew how to, they felt like almost like drill sergeants, but in a good way. They really, really pushed you and made you go that extra mile.
You talk about the butterfly effect. This is the momentum retreat. Again, we talked about middle of the year, right? It's that momentum, it's going, and the butterfly effect of knowing that you're going to be able to change someone's life from across the world.
A lot of the people I deal with may not have that. So they look at me like, man, why are you going to this retreat? Why are you doing better for yourself? All my family and friends, they want to drink, they want to party every weekend, but they're like, man, none of them, and I'm telling you the truth, none of them says, you know what, hey, let me help you push it to the next level. But I'm here to say, you know what, I'm here to grow. All you guys are gonna be my good friends now, and that's how I want to grow and be successful.
And it made me think maybe I should spend less time focusing on what I don't have and what other people have, and let's just focus on being a good human being, and let's just focus on my journey.
Yeah, so we just wrapped up this exercise. I've never seen it before. It was called Fulfillment 40. It was cool to see a group of guys. I think there's maybe 25 of us in a room, but it really allowed us to put the egos down, to stop posturing. You know, usually you get in other masterminds that I've been to, and I hate to call it that because I've only been here half a day and I don't feel like it's nothing like anything I've seen before. This is the sentence that changed my life about 4 years ago. I don't remember who said it, but I've been owning it since, so I'm gonna take it for mine now. Your son will become you, and your daughter will marry you. So you need to take a hard look in the mirror, and are you the man that you want your son to be? And more importantly, more scary, right? That your daughter will marry. Because that is inevitably the truth. They are always watching you. Your daughter will marry some fucking version of you, right? And so you need to look at yourself today. I'm just putting the sentence out there today, so as you pour into self and do the self-work, you really start to think about what do you want for your legacy, for your children. Who are you now and who do you want to be?
They took us out to speak our own eulogies at this cemetery out in the middle of the woods. You want to talk about a tearjerker? I had a bunch of grown men in tears, being vulnerable, picking out a gravesite, and then speaking the eulogy through a loved one's eyes.
Today, we start building the plan for you to accomplish the legacy that you desire. What do you want them to say about you 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Hopefully we have 40 years left.
The setting was like perfect too. The way it was like lightly raining and everything too. And a lot of other people commented on it. Like when you first start writing it is different, but then when you actually get up to read it, it hit home in a different way. And it's not something that you can really, I mean, at least for me, it's not something that you can like do without having like a lasting like effect on you.
Actually getting up there and writing your eulogy, you know, it was like, have I lived life to the fullest with no regrets? And at that time, I'm just like, I haven't, you know?
It was really emotional, first of all. I mean, to sit and have to put together your own eulogy, you know, but at the same time, what I was looking at was, like I said, personal growth. So what that was is me actually creating a eulogy for the past me.
And like OB said, we got to make every day count. We just don't know. You got to make every day count.
Self-development, mind, body, first couple of days. And then the third day was more on focusing on your legacy, right? And in order to focus on your legacy, you got to be able to build something.
So I remember before we came here, I was telling Preston, I said, hey, look, I said, we need to figure out what the mission and the vision of the company is. Like, what does it stand for? And this specifically, you know, it provided a lot of useful information that we're definitely going to talk about and we're definitely going to, you know, implement.
I get really excited about today only because I think it's more of my natural tendency as an analytical person with business is really trying to, you know, get into the details of how to make something happen. If I do this, whether it's like how many calls do I need to make in order to generate, you know, a lead or a warm lead or whatever, like how many doors do I have to knock in order to know that I'm gonna get an X amount of conversion rate, and then, you know, and then reverse it all the way up. Like what are my targets, right? What's the bottom line? What's the revenue? What's the, you know, that's exactly, it's the celebration is like just that, what's it gonna be? What's the outcome?
So Connor, as he self-described, is an integrator, you know, and he absolutely showed that. And just the model, the intricacy, the breakdown, you know, I think the biggest thing, you know, that you know, we were actually already planning on doing in our business, you know, in order to scale it, is bringing in, you know, and really building out our team. You know, that's something that we're planning on, we're actually in the process of doing. And so to have the models, you know, put up on the screen and to have somebody kind of coach you through that.
$1 million or $2 million,
I mean,
$3 million, whatever. Okay, but I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna add these numbers that I just accumulated as hard costs to the business and roll that number right up in here. So if we sit here and we go, oh, this is $5 million, well, guess what? Your number ain't 20 million, it's 25 million.
He's extremely intelligent. He's got a vast knowledge of I mean, I would just love to be able to sit down and pick his mind for like an additional, 2, 3, 4 days,
Figuring out the numbers and doing the hard work that it takes to just get the numbers audited to the business. Like, and this is where I'm big on, like, I'm really, that providing that clarity and that path, but also knowing exactly what my numbers are, there takes some work to that.
He absolutely knew what he was talking about, and so the first thing we're going to do, is kind of put that, the org chart and everything in place and, kind of fill that out. But yeah, I think that would be our first step.
I deposit and deposit and deposit and deposit and deposit. But when I have to make a withdrawal, because there's an accountability to that, and he knows that because I've set him up for success, because I love and care about him the same way I do him, and all the above. Okay, he then goes, yeah, you're right. I need to step shit up.
When we did the fire pit, fireside, that was really, incredible hearing other people's stories.
Each man went up there, and with a piece of paper, they put it in the fire, something that they want to let go of.
That was truly genuine, and I felt that it was genuine amongst the whole group.
It was something that, I wasn't used to. I hadn't experienced before. You get used to kind of compartmentalizing things, put your mask on, you go out and you make things happen, for you and your family, but, being able to let your guard down and just be honest and real. And, I've definitely taken, a lot away from it, a lot more than I expected.
That was extremely powerful. Like, I don't think that's something that I would ever forget, like, from this point forward. And just like seeing everybody's and hearing everyone's words and like the emotional effect. And we talked a lot about vulnerability, like then moving into the fire. Yeah, I mean, we all experience emotions as men. Sometimes it's not something that, we all kind of bottle up. So then going into the fire and just kind of riding out that momentum and then continuing that vulnerability. I mean, it was special for real.
It's something that it caused me, to really take a step that I should have taken before. And I think that it's going to be very positive. I think it's going to be transformational. And, I can really thank, the guys here for listening to me and for asking me questions that were important.
But for me personally, it was about letting go of the old and making way for the new. I have to have that closure to be able to move forward with a lot of the things that that I want to start doing and implementing, not only in business, but in my personal.
They didn't have egos. A lot of these roofing conferences or you go to, and the guys, it's like it's a testosterone fest. Everyone's like, look at me, look at me. But when you go to Revolt, these guys genuinely care for the guys. They're trying to build men up, become better men.
I'm glad I had the opportunity to come here, and I really, truly mean that. It was an opportunity. I would say life-changing, and I truly, truly mean that.
It's life-changing, for sure. It's definitely life-changing, if you allow it, if you allow it.
The team is more of a family. They support you. In the business part, I mean, they basically have everything for you, but we have to do the work.
It's about, hey, I love you. I want to help you grow. I want to help you reach another person, and that person reach another person, and that's how you create legacy.
I'm excited to get back and implement everything, every single step that we actually learned.
This really exceeded my expectations, really beyond belief, because it had a real positive effect on my life. It was truly life-changing. It's been extraordinary, and I think it was a great experience.